Meadows joins us. Good evening, sir. And I guess the best sort of test to see whether it's spiraled off control is where has the president's foreign policy been a success?
Well, it's very hard to find any success, Greta, when you really look at it, whether we're looking at Yemen, where we have 41 Americans, as you just reported, there in harm's way, or we look at Iran. But the entire Middle East is imploding, and yet we somehow believe that his foreign policy, that soft diplomacy that everybody talks about, it's really featherweight diplomacy. It's walk softly and give a good speech.
You know, I want to get those 41 Americans out. I travel the world a lot. And, you know, everyone who travels in those zones knows the danger. And when we get warnings from the State Department, don't go there, and you do go there. I mean, my heart bleeds for their families and for them. I want to get them out of there. But, you know, they're not without some responsibility.
Well, without a doubt. But a lot of these people that are in harm's way are there really serving the communities. They're people with big hearts.
Good hearts, big hearts.
But you're right. There are inherent risks. But this administration has made it more dangerous when you really look at negotiating. In fact, the world knows that the president is not a good negotiator.
Well, you know, I mean, look at Yemen, bad shape. Syria, bad shape. Iraq, bad shape. I mean, we just had one of our soldiers killed in Afghanistan. Iran, we've got supposedly some deal with them, and Iran won't let us search the military installations. So that's really a no-go there. I mean, Burma, Myanmar, that was supposed to be a big success story. That's bad. North Korea's been quiet. But you know, it's hard to find an enormous success story. Even Angela Merkel is mad we tapped her phones.
Well, but that's part of this pivot to Cuba. They said, well, you know, let's go after 50 years of them not changing anything. Let's focus on Cuba because it's an easier lift. And yet the real work that needs to be done is in the Middle East. And who is curiously silent is Hillary Clinton. You know, foreign policy, part of the Obama administration, and yet she's been silent for the most part on a number of these issues.
Well, I think we're going to begin to hear more from her. I think
let's hope so.
But, you know, it's interesting with this whole thing with Cuba is that you can't just sort of look at that part of the world alone. You've got to look at Bolivia,
sure,
Venezuela. I mean, those are very dangerous countries. And while all the attention's on Cuba, what are we doing about Bolivia? And
well, we've got actually Hezbollah working in Latin America. You talk about dangerous. You know, here is a terrorist organization with activity in Latin America, danger in Bolivia. It's right here on our doorstep, and yet we somehow think that we can turn a blind eye and that it'll all go away.
What's going to happen with sanctions on Capitol Hill with Iran?
You know, I hope for the sake of Israel and for the sake of the United States that it comes before Congress. I know Senator Corker's working real hard to try to reach across, but I find it real appalling that the president's willing to meet with Raul Castro and wouldn't meet with the Prime Minister of Israel when he was here. Well, he couldn't find time.
I got another one, is that insulting tweet about the Prime Minister coming out of the White House yesterday, which I thought was so juvenile and so disrespectful. You can have a disagreement with Prime Minister Netanyahu, but to trash talk him like you're like some stupid high school student, I don't know, I don't want to insult high school students. Anyway, I was a stupid high school student. Anyway, Congressman, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And tonight.